If you're a parent or perhaps a teacher, you've probably said something like this. A student or your child comes to you and they say something and they question, why can't I do that? Or why did you tell me to do that? And you say, because I said so. And then you see the look of disappointment go across the kid's face or across your student's face as they realize that just because you said it, it needs to happen. What you've done when you tell a child or a student or somebody like that, because I said so, what you're doing is you're making a ground for why they should do it. You're giving the reason why they should do a specific action. And the ground for that, the reason for them behaving a certain way or doing a certain action is because it's rooted in your authority to tell them what to do. When you say, because I told you so, you're saying your words and your position in life, in their life, is authoritative and they have to do it. Grounds are interesting because they give the reason for why we do something. There's a statement and you wonder, why do I need to do this? Or why did somebody say this? And then they follow it up with a reason, because, or for, or since this is the case. When we hear these kind of words and these kind of phrases, we know that the authority, the reason why we're doing something is important. We know that if there's a statement and then they give a ground for it, that's a reason that supports why we need to do a certain action. So what we're going to talk about today is called a ground. Another way to say it is the reason why. So let's look at a definition of what a ground is, and we'll look at this a little bit more in depth. A ground. A definition for a ground is a statement and the argument or basis or reason for which it stands. A ground clause always supports. It's not always the main point, but it just supports. The key words that we're looking for are because, for, and since. When we see a ground, we mark it by the symbol G, just a capital G. An example from Scripture that we can pull from where we see a ground is Matthew 5, chapter 4. And this is in the Beatitudes. It says this, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So let's split this up into propositions. You see, blessed are the poor in spirit, and you see the key word for a ground is right there, for. So we're going to split it right there. We're going to write justify it across the page so we can do a bracket. So you should have two different propositions here. You should have blessed are the poor in spirit and for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So how do we split this? How do we know it's a ground? So we see blessed are the poor in spirit. The question is why? Why are they poor? Why are they blessed? Why the poor in spirit are blessed? Well, the reason is because they own the kingdom of heaven. It belongs to them. That's why the poor in spirit are blessed. It's not just because they're poor. It's not because of any other reason other than theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So notice that the ground clause comes after the proposition it supports. Proposition B, or the second proposition, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, gives the reason for the first, which is blessed are the poor in spirit. So again, we see blessed is the poor in spirit is what's happening. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven is the claw or the ground for it, the support for why this is happening. So this is a ground. This happens all throughout Scripture. We see because, for, or since. Whenever you see those kind of words, more than likely you're dealing with a ground. More than likely you're dealing with a statement that supports the previous statement when you see something like this. It gives the reason. It provides the why. It's so important. I would say when we're reading our Bible, looking for ground clauses is so important. It gives us the reason, the why, the justification for what came before it in the Scripture. Whatever we read, it gives the justification for that. I would say this ground and inference are probably one of the two main tools that if you don't get anything through this session, these sessions on Bible tracing, pay attention to being able to mark grounds and inferences. Those are so important for knowing why we do what we do, what's the main point, and what we're supposed to be doing because of everything that was written in Scripture. It backs everything up and kind of summarizes it for us and gives, again, the reason. So that's a ground. Tomorrow we're going to talk about an inference, what that means. It's similar to a ground, but just a little bit different. But those are the two main ones, grounds and inferences I really want you to concentrate on. And so pay attention to those when you see them in the Scripture, because, for, and since, and show up in the next session. Why? Because I said so.